everyone, it's Laura Milligan coming to you from my studio in Canton, Ohio. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I've been a demonstrator for almost 25 years. This fall, I will be celebrating my 25th anniversary, which just seems crazy. And gosh, what a fun 25 years it's been. So today, I have two cards that I'm going to make for you. I'm excited to share them. I think they're super cute. And let's just go ahead and get started. If you're there, say hi. Let me check my comments here. Let me see who's tuned in already. I'm going to give everybody a minute to find me because sometimes it just takes a minute with technology, right? We all know that. Technology is not always our friend. There's Myra and Colleen. Hi, friends. How are you? Thank you for watching today. I'm going to go ahead and change my camera view down. People are signing in. And as always, thank you so much for watching. And if you would like and share this live, I would be very grateful. We can share the crafty ideas and crafty fun with others. That would be awesome. So, okay, here we go. Let me switch my camera view down. And so today, oh, thank you. They like my shirt. I know. Isn't that cute? I love the birds too. I've had this for, gosh, several years. But so today I am featuring, before I get started, I'm going to be featuring the Impressions Abloom bundle. And hi, Sarah. Oh, it's pouring down rain there. Gosh, we actually have a nice day here today. The Impressions Abloom bundle is what I'm going to be using today, and I wanted to show you, this is my current class to go. I did this with my demonstrator friend Sherry, who is a demonstrator in Canada, super talented, and we create classes to go every month, and this month we are featuring the Impressions Abloom card class. Card class to go is what we call them. You're going to make 6 different cards. You get a ton of product, and we do a PDF tutorial, a video for each project, so you can kind of stamp right along with us. It's almost like being in our studios, but not quite. So don't miss out on that. Registration closes May 25th, so there is time, but don't miss out on that class because it's good stuff. It's cute stuff. Okay, so let me show you. Let me show you the bundle that I'm going to be using today. It's the Impressions Abloom. This is an online exclusive. It's called Impressions Abloom. I know I keep saying that, but all that means is it is not available in the catalog. You can't see it if you look in the catalog. You have to go online. There are some great new online exclusives that were released when our catalog went live. Gosh, was that only last week ago? That seems like longer time than that. But when our new catalog launched, we also released a lot of online exclusives, and this was one of them. It's a great set of dies. There's flowers, like just outlines of flowers. There's dies that can add detail to flowers. This flower, there's leaves, there's teeny tiny little flowers. This oval shape is really cool. There are also these 2 little dies that create stems, which are fun, and you can build your flowers on that. And then, of course, the beautiful stamp set with all the beautiful images. This is a 2-step stamp set, which means you have a solid image, and then which you would stamp in a lighter color, and then another image that will add detail, to the more solid images. Even the little centers of the flowers. And then it coordinates with the Floral Impressions Designer Series paper. And let me just show you how beautiful. I love the colors in this paper. These are 6x6 samples because it's easier for me to show this on camera, but it is actually 12x12 paper. You got that one. Isn't that gorgeous? And then this one and this one. Those are the side A. And then let me see if I can grab these and flip them over. There we go. So you have some really pretty patterns and designs on the back side too. I love that one. I also love this one. what's not to love about any of them, really? So that is called Floral Impressions DSP. Again, this is online. And then the other thing that goes with this suite is the Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink gems. Somehow I accidentally got a yellow gem. I'll cover that up with my thumb. I don't know how I got that on there, but you can see the Strawberry Slush, the Pretty in Pink, and then a lighter color, which I love because it gives you some opportunities to use like a neutral color when you need to. So those are super fun and sparkly. All right, so let me put these aside for a second. Set that there. All right, so first I want to show you, last week I made the pop-up card with the popcorn, and it said no one's better than you. And then I quickly showed you this sample, which was the same thing, the same pop-up idea, but it was featuring the Floral Impressions Abloom bundle. And I thought this was nice because you can see the different colors coming together. There's the gems, there's a designer paper. I wanted to show you that. And then this is another one that just features the designer paper, just more simple, but super, super cute. So there are two ideas right there. Hi, Shelly. Hi, Marsha. Hi, Susie. Okay, so what I'm going to do today, it's kind of a simpler version of this card. And let me just tell you, I cannot get enough of the Strawberry Slush paper. I love its brightness, and it's just I don't know, it's just one of those colors that makes you happy. All right, so let me get all my parts and pieces out here. Okay. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. This is my panel that I will use for the inside of my card. And then I have just a little strip of designer paper. I have a white panel and some of the designer paper, that cute pink on the back, Strawberry Slush on the back. And then I have the Nested Essential rectangle shape. I'm going to use that. I have an extra one here just in case I make a boo-boo, because you know sometimes I make boo-boos, right? And then this scrap paper is just for me to do some stamping and die cutting. So let's see. First I'm going to take and these are the colors of ink that I'm using: Pecan Pie, Garden Green, Daffodil Delight, and Strawberry Slush. And I just pulled these colors, of course, from the Designer Series paper. So I'm going to start with Strawberry Slush, and I'm going to stamp the word thanks. Goodness, if I can get this open. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to take this shape from the Stylish Shape Dies. This is the largest one. I have that here to show you. So it is the largest one. And let me tell you, I've been using this so much lately. I really like this shape. I think it's a good size, and of course the paper piercing all around it. So I'm going to just ink up my stamp, and I'm going to stamp thanks towards the right. Okay, there we have that. And then I'm going to take Garden Green ink, and there's a little stamp in the stamp set. Let me show you here. This little stamp here is the stem for the flowers. So I'm going to stamp that over here on the left-hand side. And I'll tell you, when you have a little straight line stamp like this, you don't want to push too hard. It's just a really light touch, and then you get that. If you stamp too hard, sometimes the whole stamp kind of wiggles and you get a much thicker stem than what was intended. All right, so I've got that. I am going to then take my flower, and this is the 2-step, and then I'm also going to be using the leaves. So I'm going to do 2 leaves. I'll do those first with the Garden Green ink. I'm just going to put those on here. And it's cool because when you stamp this, you actually get the two-tone look, which I think looks good. Okay. And then I'm going to stamp my 2 stamps. I'm going to bring in my scrap paper. And what I want to do for this one, I'm going to use, I almost put it in the Garden Green ink. Almost, luckily I caught myself. I'm going to stamp the solid flower, ink it up, and I'm going to stamp off. And then I'm going to stamp it on my paper here. Like that. And see, look at the difference. You can see when it's stamped off. I want the lighter color because I want, with 2-step stamping, of course you want to do the darker color. And this stamp is really easy to line up. I feel like all the stamps in this set are, because like this one, you can see, I was calling it the arm, but it's actually one of the petals is longer than the rest. And so it's pretty easy to line up. Okay, so we have that. I'm going to close this up. And then the other thing I want to stamp, I'm going to do some die cutting here. So the other thing I want to stamp is the center of my flower. And this is also a 2-step stamp. For this one, I'm going to use 2 different colors of ink. I'm going to start with, oops, oh my goodness. Oh, it landed ink side down too. Well, that's going to be interesting. Huh. I guess I have slippery fingers today. Anyway, so I'm going to start with the Daffodil Delight, and I'm not stamping off. I'm just going to stamp directly on my cardstock. And then I am going to take my Pecan Pie ink and stamp the other circle. Hi, Mary Jo, how are you? I'm going to do the next one in Pecan Pie, and this one is going to add some detail. It's really cute. Okay, so there you can see, let me show you up close so you can see that added detail. All right. I'm going to bring in my mini die cutting machine. These are all small dies, so they're going to be easy to cut out. And this one, let me pull these out. The leaves that I've stamped, they have given us 2 of these, which makes it really nice and easy for when you're doing multiples like I just did. I'm going to get all these on here, and let me set this aside and bring in my die cutting machine. Line this up. Now when I use my mini die cutting machine, the plates that I use are a little bit different than the way they tell you on the base plate, and that's because when they make these, they're all calibrated a little bit differently. It's just part of the process, like the manufacturing process. Mine is really tight, and I had trouble with the regular plates that they suggest cranking it through. And so I played around with it a little bit and found that a different configuration works better for me. So that's what I use. And I'm just going to put a little bit of this, it's like a Post-it note tape on here, just so that these don't slip. Because every time I think I can do this without taping them down, sure enough, they slip. Okay. You just need a little bit to tack it on there. Okay. And then I use plate number 4, and you can see how easily it just cranks right through. And I think that's the only thing I'm die cutting today, so I'm going to put that away. Okay, and then I have all my little pieces. I'm going to put my dies back on my magnet card so that I don't lose them. Okay. All right. Now we're going to put this together. Let me get my glue here. And I'm going to start with this small piece. The white piece is 2 1/4 inches by 4. And then this piece is 1 3/4 by 3 3/4. Just going to glue those. Isn't that a pretty pattern? I just love that. Love the colors in this suite. Okay, so we're just going to put that down here. This goes together pretty quickly, which I think we like. Cute but quick. That always seems to work for me. All right, so we have that there. And then I'm going to build my flower on this panel here, the Nested Essentials. And I'm going to start with my leaves. And I'm just going to glue them down. I did not pop them up. I am going to pop up the flower, but I thought the leaves could be flat. Okay, so we have that there. And then I'm going to get my dimensionals and pop up the center of our flower, or pop up our entire flower. And then I'll just glue the center on. And you could pop that up. I did not this time. I left the center flat. Let's see, I'm going to put it about like that. Just like that. And then we'll take our center. And you can see when you look at this, let me flip it over here. You can see how it's very similar to the center of the flower on the DSP. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there we go. Colleen, I don't think the dies cut any flowers on the DSP, but I'm not positive about that. That is a good question. I do not know. All right, so what I'm going to do is position this here, but what I want to do first is take the leaves, and I'm going to get rid of the green ink. I need to clean that green ink off real quick here. And I'm going to do like a tone on tone, and just to add some interest to the background with the leaf. So this is going to be about here, and I'm just going to do a little stamping right on the base. Kind of like that. I'm going to do one more right here. And it's okay to overlap these because they're going to be covered up. And then I'm going to do just a couple over here along the side. I just thought it was an easy way to add some interest. And then I'm just going to take some dimensionals, pop this up. Aren't the colors pretty? I just think the colors, it's such a pretty color combination with the pinks and the purples. I'm just going to put that like that. And you can see that stamp, the tone on tone, it just adds a little, very subtle interest. So we have that, and then on the inside, I'm going to just add my panel of white and then just add this little strip of DSP along the bottom. Like that. And then I just want to add some of my strawberry slush embellishments. Such a pretty, so pretty. And then I think I'll just put one right there like that. Okay, so there's the first card. Pretty simple, but so pretty. And then here's the inside. There is a stamp. You could do I appreciate you on the inside. That would be really pretty. And I do not have an extra block here, so I'm not going to do that right now, but that would look cute on the inside. So there we have our first card. And let me get this out of the way, and I will show you one more card today, also from the same suite. So for this one, the next one, I wanted to show you how to use these dies, because we're going to make a flower with these. And I'm using fresh freesia cardstock. And I pulled colors from this one, from this strip of DSP. And then I did use one of those little skinny dies, and I'm going to build my flower on that. And I'm going to use thanks. So I need to clean that off real quick. Okay. All right, so this is a fun fold. It's a very basic but pretty fun fold. This is one you could do on almost any card. It's so easy to do. So it's just the standard 5.5 by 8.5. And then I have scored it at 4 1/4, which is the halfway point. And then also the front flap at 2 1/8. And so then what I'm going to do is just fold this back on itself like that. And the first thing I'm going to do is take a piece of, this is basic white. This was cut 2 inches by 5.5, which is a little bit longer than I needed, but I used the mini corrugated embossing folder with this. And when you do that, of course, it's going to crimp the paper, so it's going to shrink a little bit. So I made it a little bit bigger so that once it was crimped, it was the perfect size that I needed. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this. Thank you, Myra. You're sweet. When you're using, especially something like this with this big corrugated part, you want to be sure to use plenty of glue so that it really is secure. All right, and then the next thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and attach this beautiful DSP. It's just going to go right there, kind of the inside panel, but you'll be able to see it from the front. That measures 5 1/4 by 2. So you can see we have that just like that. And then I'm going to build my flower. So for this, I'm going to start, here's my little stem, but what I'm going to do is start with the flower part first. And isn't this pretty? Look how pretty this is. And we're going to put these different sets of dies, the petal dies, on top of each other to create this really pretty flower. So I'm going to start by just gluing this part down. Hi Florence, how are you? Thanks for joining today. So I'm going to put that there and just hold that down for a second. And same thing with this side, because of the corrugated panel, you want to be sure to really, use enough enough adhesive on that. Okay, then I'm going to take, I think I'm going to look for a mini dimensional. Let's see if I have one in my stash here. Yes. So I'm just going to put a mini on the back of this. It's going to go just right there like that. So you automatically have like depth to this and added texture with the smaller and the larger die. Love that. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is just attach my stem. I'm going to put a dab of glue on the top here where it attaches to the flower, and then I'm just going to put a little dab, just a teeny little bit along the end of the stem. I got something in my... Okay, so I'm going to do that there. I'm going to angle this just a bit and just hold that down for a second. Okay. What is in there? Some kind of, there we go, paper or something. Okay, so we have that like that. And it, you know, this is fun because this card, it's so fun to make a flower like this, but this is also fun and it shows you the versatility of these dies. And doesn't this look so pretty together? Then you want to add your leaves. And what I did for these, I just put a mini dimensional in the center of the leaf, right there. And then I'm going to put a dab of glue on the bottom. And that's going to give it some dimension. It's going to pop up the middle of my leaf. Put that this way. It's going to pop up the middle of my leaf and then keep the base of it flat on the stem. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other one. Oh, Myra, you'll love this mini corrugated embossing folder. I have used it so much lately. I love it. And I'm going to put this one just a little bit down further. Like that. So you have your stems, your leaves, and your beautiful flower and your stems. And then I'm going to do a greeting. This is also from the Nested Essential Dies, this shape. Like I said, I have been using these dies a lot lately. These are one of the go-tos, I think, you're going to want to definitely have in your collection. Okay, and for this one, this time I'm going to stamp in Fresh Freesia ink. This is such a pretty color. I feel like I've been using Fresh Freesia a lot lately as well. And I'm just going to do thanks again. So pretty. Close this up. And I'm going to adhere this with the dimensionals. I'm going to put one on each corner, I think, of this. And I'm going to put this about right here like that. This is so simple. It's very clean and simple looking, but gosh, isn't it pretty? Okay, and then to finish this up, I'm just going to add some gems. And you can use some of the strawberry slush and the pretty in pink, I think, with this. I think it looks really pretty. So there we have our card number 2. So you can write your message here and here. If you don't want to write a lot, you could add another piece of DSP here and then just use this to write your message. But that's another, and again, it's so different from the first card I made. It just shows the versatility, right? So let me show you just real quickly Get this area cleaned up a bit here. Okay, so these are the 2 cards I made today. Aren't those colors just beautiful? And this is the one that I made last week. For those of you that weren't watching at the beginning of this today, I showed this at the beginning. And this is the flip card that I did with the popcorn. And then I just showed this quickly as an alternative. But that's really fun. It's very similar to this one, just stepped up with that fun little pop. And then this is another one that shows the flower in a different color, Timid Tiger. But a lot of things you can do with this card, with this bundle. So I'm going to bring this in again. This is my class to go for this month. Registration closes May 25th. There are 6 totally different cards than the ones you've seen me made this week and last week. So you get 6 more ideas with this bundle. And I can tell you they are super, super cute, and a couple fun folds in there, and some really neat things that Sherry and I did with this suite. So don't miss out on registration for that. And then the other, so I wanted to show you, I meant to do this last week and then I forgot. I got this card in the mail, and it was from the Stampin' Up! Corporate team. And look how beautiful. Isn't this gorgeous? Love, love, love this. And it was signed by the entire corporate team. And they sent this to me because I had reached a career milestone, $1.5 million in sales, which is crazy. And of course, I have to thank all of my loyal customers for that. But I just thought, I loved the colors. I loved how they did this hexagon frame around this, and I just thought this was beautiful, so I wanted to show you that. And then the other thing that was crazy that happened on Saturday, it was around 5:30, and I had been outside working in my garden. You know what, I can change my view so I can just talk to you there. I'd been outside working in my garden, and I came inside, I picked up my cell phone, and it was ringing, and it said Shelly, and I'm thinking, Shelly? Well, so I answered. It was Shelly Gardner, who is the co-founder of Stampin' Up!, and she was calling to personally congratulate me on that milestone, and that was really fun. She is such a lovely person, and I got to talk. We talked to each other for about 15 minutes, and that was really fun and so exciting, and totally made my day. It made me so happy. So that was pretty cool. When you hear from the co-founder of the company, that's always a good day, right? But anyway, so thanks to all of you for always supporting me and encouraging me. I'm so grateful for you, and I know that all the success that I've achieved through this is because of you. I couldn't have done it without you, so thank you for that. So I've already figured out what I'm doing for next week. I will be going live on Monday, and I have it here to show you. So this is a new, excuse me, I gotta reach for this, it's sliding away. This is a new bundle, and this is in the catalog. I'm gonna change my camera view down again because I wanna show this to you, because you are definitely gonna wanna add this to your collection. It's a bundle called Extraordinary Floral, and with that you get the stamp set and then this large die. So the stamp set, this whole thing here is one large stamp. I'll pull it up. One large stamp that coordinates with the die. And so you can stamp it and use this die, and you get all these different little floral things, which is really cool. There's some nice words. But the cool part is there's washi tape. I think it's called Extraordinary Floral Washi Tape, something like that. But I'm going to pull out a little bit for you. So there's some pinks, there's also some purples, and this also coordinates with this die. And so I'm going to show you on Monday a couple different ideas. I feel like it's only the beginning with this. I have a lot more ideas, so I may actually be offering something as a class to go with this, because it's so cool and I had so much fun. So don't miss that on Monday. I will be going live at noon, or I'm sorry, at 1 o'clock my normal time. So I look forward to seeing you then. hope you all have a great week, the rest of the week, and great weekend. And have you been stamping anything lately? Let me know in the comments. What have you been making lately? Birthday cards, thinking of you cards, get well cards. Let me know what you've been stamping. I love to hear that. And if you know someone that you think might enjoy this video, please share it. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. I'm so grateful for all of you. If you're watching live or on replay, let me know. I sure do appreciate all of you. And thank you so much for joining me. And as always, I hope you have time to be creative today. Bye-bye, my friends. Take care.